Taylor Frankie Paul.
Yeah.
Making herstory.
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
Did you put lashes on?
I had to put a lash on today.
It looks fabulous.
Thank you. As a treat, I got to wear a lash.
It's really nice. It's really nice.
Thank you. I was well behaved, and so
Yes,
obviously,
you
as you can see, I'm
deserved.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Stream Queens, the pod. I'm Julia Wendt.
I'm Erin McKeon.
We are the Bushwick intellectual elite with
true.
the definitive take on all things pop culture and television. We are culturally critiquing our way with our expertise, which includes me, the indie darling of the 2025 Tribeca Film Festival.
Congratulations.
And speaking of congratulations, and of course, Erin's.
What?
I'm just noticing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just got a lot like on your shoulders lately. It seems like
I don't know what
it
you're
just
talking
seems
about. I'm just
suddenly the coyest bitch I've ever met award. I'm like, we don't have to talk about it.
No, it's fine. I won an Emmy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, won
Thanks.
an Emmy in a big way for producing.
I'm an Emmy Award-winning producer.
For which season of Queer Eye?
This was for season 9 of Queer Eye, the Vegas season.
Oh my gosh.
Which I will
You
say
lucky duck.
Which I will say is our best work. So stream season 9 of Queer Eye on Netflix.
If you still have Netflix, you can absolutely go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, it's a good season.
It's an amazing season. You had so much fun. You couldn't talk.
Yeah.
You said it was like the best time of your life, and so for it to be
Vegas
like,
was such an amazing time, and then winning an Emmy was also an amazing time.
and yeah, to be acknowledged
How
and
fortunate
recognized
we
in that
are.
way, like literally, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and you've talked about just, I mean, you know, we've watched some at the show, the way that you can change people's lives. I think that it's so cool that you get to do that and like win an Emmy for it and then continue that work of really changing people's lives here on the pod,
Here on Stream Queens, the pod. I know it is. It is cool and as surreal. You know, I'm so grateful. Chat. I mean, we really missed you. It's been a while. Last, I think we were watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives last time we checked in.
Oh my gosh, yeah, ages ago,
which congratulations to Taylor Frankie Paul.
Taylor Frankie Paul, congratulations, girl. Like,
I think Taylor's going to be such a fabulous bachelorette. Someone was asking me, they're like, oh, isn't she kind of, they'd only watched like the first few episodes, and they were like, oh, isn't she kind of like a volatile person? And I was like, no, but if you really watch the show, you'll see that Taylor Frankie Paul has grown so much in her communication style, in her clarity and what she wants, and her maturity and her intentions. And I think it's so obvious by the end of season 2, you're like, oh, you're around the wrong people. These people are not treating you kindly, or not treating you the way you don't have what you deserve.
Male singles,
yeah, who I think are coming in and maybe have watched the show and will come in with a perspective of like, I know you deserve better, and I want to give that to you. I want to show you how you deserve to be treated. What life could
be like. It's gonna be a great season. So I think she's a fabulous talent.
She's a fabulous talent. So congratulations, Taylor Frankie Paul.
I mean, just a big for the Stream Queens, the pod family.
It's
so much to celebrate.
This is huge for our family.
Cheers, girl.
Yeah, cheers. Congratulations to everyone. This podcast is really about letting you into our living room and what we're streaming.
Yeah.
And we streamed this week. You want to tell them?
Yeah, but I wish I remembered the song. I'm so bad with tunes.
Ha, 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 ha.
I'm like, you learned that by ear?
Yeah.
Twilight, the first one.
Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a headband.
Yeah.
Do I look like someone you might know?
Bella Swan.
Bella Swan, played by Kristen Stewart.
And in Twilight, we are so excited to get in.
We watched Twilight. Twilight 1 specifically. Twilight 2008, director Catherine Hardwicke. There's so much we're going to get into about Twilight.
Yeah.
But like just overarching thesis, like
Please.
there's really 2.
Yeah.
First, of course, girls who love Alice, they have good pussy.
No, that crazy Alice pussy.
Like that's take number 1.
That pixie cut bob pussy drive you crazy when she throws that leg
crazy.
Up playing baseball.
Yeah. Second take, Catherine Hardwicke deserves to be a household name.
No, Catherine
honey.
Hardwicke, remember the name.
Remember the name, and she was robbed of the rest of the saga. That's really like the number one thing when we were watching, and I haven't watched, I don't know about you, but I hadn't watched Twilight 1 since like of the time. Maybe in high school I watched it again, but like I have not watched that as an adult.
Right.
I didn't realize, like, it's an indie film. Like, it's very...
Twilight 1 is an indie film. We flipped it on. We start watching in like 10, 15 minutes, and you and I are like,
Whoa. What?
What am I...
What am I...
At first, you're not going to get this.
No, because...
Second time you get it.
I think I was remembering, of course, like a Breaking Dawn version of Twilight. You know what I mean? Like I was more of a superhero movie-esque, like
with
really
that sheen.
yes, and like crazy action sequences and battles and blood and like
Yep.
Twilight 1 is simply not that. It's much more reminiscent of 13. 13 is a really fabulous film that stars Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed, who plays Rosalie in Twilight. And it is a
Bond girl.
such an incredible movie. I don't know if you've seen this. Like,
No, I'm not familiar. That's like when
Okay.
we started looking at the images and being like, something else is going on here. We don't know what. We need
Yeah.
to look into it. And then
I was like, oh, that's 13. And yes. And
it's Catherine
13,
Hardwicke's film is what you're describing.
Yes,
13.
I believe it to be
Yeah.
her debut film or like the first film that got her like recognition. I think there was perhaps an Oscar nom or a Sunday. I don't know.
Right.
It was acclaimed. And Catherine Hardwicke,
Much like
this
us,
film
yeah.
is very like handheld, shaky cam. Very like I remember when Twilight first came out, like there was so much talk about the micro expressions on their face and like Kristen Stewart like sitting like they do all these like movements and they're all shaking kind of all the time.
My sister like critiquing the lip biting.
The lip biting like that, but that kind of frenetic facial movement is very present in 13 in a very real way because it's like she's using actual like 13, 14-year-olds as actors in the film and they are the way they move because they're still figuring out how to move their bodies and how to like communicate through facial expressions and they're
I should probably check that
very
out.
frenetic and you should probably what?
Check out 13. Me is in my adolescence.
You
as
should
a
totally
young
check
woman,
out
for
13.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, but it's also all about, you know, this teenage girl kind of becoming herself, her relationship with her mom, who you would love this.
Do you think that Twilight is a coming of age film?
I think Twilight is ultimately, because here's the thing. I haven't read the book. And
I
I want to
got
separate.
$10 to read the book.
Who
Yeah,
paid you $10 to read the book?
it was like one of my first forays into Force Femme.
Oh, like a
girl I had a
Twihard?
crush on. Yeah, it was like.
Oh, girl, you had a crush on.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not gonna read that gay book.
Yeah.
Like, and then she's like, I'll give you $10, and it's like
Yeah.
for $10.
I'll read the gay book.
Yeah, and I remember being like, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
didn't
read the
change my
book, but
life.
even the rest of it, like separating Twilight 1,
please.
the film, from the rest of the book text, from the other films, and what Twilight ultimately is as a cultural
Yes.
thing, right? I think
we
the first
do want to
movie.
give Catherine props for the fact that they took this from her. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well,
injustice.
okay, we'll get there.
But
the
please, yeah,
injustice, of course. But I think Twilight 1 is ultimately a film about, to me, it feels to be a metaphor told from a teenager's perspective of what it is like to be, what would be the word? Approached by and caught in the orbit of an older man. Like,
Talk about power
truly,
dynamics.
it's a power dynamic movie, and it's
To the
kind of
nth.
yeah, it's almost just giving like this perspective from a young woman who finds herself in a relationship with an older man who has much more power than her and isolates herself from her friends and family already in kind of a new place in this and yeah, that's kind of what I think it's about. And hold for it, I'm gonna cough. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was that nasty thing I said that one time about vaping on the pod? That's why I don't vape on the pod.
Let's notice who's got a vape in a hand today.
I would prefer to keep my private life private.
I hate to say I told you so.
I hate.
Because there were those couple times you were like, let me hit your vape. And I was like, are you sure? Because a few months from now, you're gonna be owning a vape and you're going to be vaping all the time. And you were like, no. Now here we are.
That was the old me.
Fact check me, but I'm pretty sure Catherine Hardwicke
Chat.
had something like a $40 million budget for this movie, made something like $300 million in opening weekend. And I think
And then what?
And she got nothing for it. In fact,
Nope.
she got fired.
Fired, and everyone's like, that is a fluke. That is so crazy. Who knew? And it's like,
Who knew? And it's like she did.
and it grabs emotionally. Like what we kept remarking is what the movie feels like is what it feels like to be a teenager with somebody paying attention to you, being in a new place.
Yeah.
It is, like we talked about a lot, the female lens.
Yeah.
Like Catherine, telling this story that is done by a very singular female author,
Yes.
Stephanie Meyer, with a very specific vision. Like, we're living in, and Rob Pattinson talked about this
Yes.
in the time, it's in the ContraPoint video. Like, he's like, I think we're just acting out Stephanie Meyer's like bedroom fantasy.
For sure. Of course.
And to be able to show that as Catherine does.
Yes.
In a way that it's like, no, this is what it feels like. It feels awkward. It feels like you're in close-ups all the time next to this person who, like, why is he hating me?
Right. It feels like it's your first day of school, and the only thing that matters was when the really hot guy sitting next to you passed the microscope over to you, and how, like, those tiny moments are what make an intimate relationship, right? And that intimacy that you feel between Bella and Edward in every moment is so palpable and so just like, and I mean, we talk about the power dynamics between them. There's so many, right, that I think are all metaphorical that I think Catherine Hardwicke saw in the original text, right? Like
100%.
The fact that he is 100 years old, give or take.
Right.
Okay, he's older.
He's
but
admittedly
he also,
been 16 for a while.
17, famously.
Yeah,
but
thanks.
For sure.
Yeah.
He also can read minds, which I think is almost when you are, I think of like, when you're a young girl and you have an older man who's with you, teenagers are quite easy to read. Young people in general, like when you know more about the world, you can kind of read people. You know what people are about in a way that a young person does not. And it feels like when you're with an older person who knows these things about the world, I mean, it's so, you feel you have so much to learn from them. And it makes you so susceptible to kind of going into their orbit. Like, and I think he's got all of this power over her in knowledge and in experience that he can really show her the world in a new way, and in a way that she really needs at this time when she's just moved to a new school. She's moved from, I mean, in just the colors, to move from Arizona to Forks. Like, I mean, Stephanie.
And that's what I'm talking, like, Catherine taking the text, like, it's overwrought. It's
overwrought.
Ridiculous. Similarly, being a teenager feels like these big swings.
Yes.
Everything is that overwrought, and for them to do it and to be faithful, like watching it, we were blushing, and they don't kiss
until the very end,
like,
if even.
No,
like,
and talk about power. That's one of the things that, like, fascinates me about this text. Has always fascinated me about this text, right? Because I don't remember when I was in the 6th grade when I read it for $10 US. It's like, I don't know what that would be like now. Probably $300.
Of course.
Yeah. We, like, I should have invested that. It doesn't matter. Do you remember the panic at the time, the moral panic, where it was like, they're reading Twilight. All the girls are liking Twilight. The I remembered ContraPoints, like, brought it up again, but the, like, somebody going through the domestic violence checklist of behaviors and being like, casual reminder, Edward Cullen is an abuser.
Well, I don't even think he's, I mean, I do think he is I do think there is abuser, like, similarities, and there's things which are evocative of an abuser, but that doesn't make him an abuser. But it does feel like what it feels like to be in an abusive situation is, you know what I mean? Like, and also I think, because it's what we talk, it's also the fatherhood dynamics too, right? Because it's like, Bella, when you're estranged from your mother, you have this,
because of her whorish ways.
Yes, and you have this relationship with your father where he doesn't really know how to handle you. Like, he doesn't really know how to do, I mean, he couldn't handle your mother and he can't handle you. Like, he just doesn't know what he's doing. He's like a man stuck in his ways, right? And so she's kind of in this very alienated situation. And then you meet somebody who is the ultimate both predator and protector, right? Like, that's what
the daddy stuff is.
That's what an older man can be for you,
is
somebody who can ultimately protect you and teach you everything about the world, and is also 1000% your most dangerous predator.
Every time.
And that's intoxicating. That's going to make you.
To be a woman is to be prey. To be male is to be predator. And yet, what do you do? And yet, we all have to go outside every day.
Yeah.
Tough.
And God, it is such a sexual movie with so little sex. Although there's the implications of him protecting her from, like, multiple gang rape scenes.
Multiple gang rapes. That's what I'm saying.
Multiple gang rapes implied in this text.
No, like, from what's the first one? She's walking.
The construction guys.
The construction guys are
like the guys in that,
her.
or not. I don't know if construction is the first one where it's the first, like, frenetic vampire. We get a sense something is amiss in Forks, where we see that first construction guy get eaten by James and whatever. And then there's the scene where she's walking through the parking lot at night, and there's a group of men who are, like, drinking and ostensibly going to gang rape her.
Yeah, who are just, the
if Edward didn't come and save the day,
hooligans.
nearly hit them with a car, and then kind of drive off.
And can read their mind, but like Back to the Power can't read her mind.
Well, and exactly, because also back to when an older man might notice you, right? What he's going to say. And he's the first person to, she's met all these people. The two boys, right? Like that she meets immediately are both like trying to ask her to prom. Everybody, they call her the shiny new toy. Like there's this whole dynamic of like, but nobody's really asking her real questions. He's the first one to be like, he's like, why'd you move here? She's like, it's complicated. And he goes, I'm sure I can handle it. And it's like, oh, it gives her this place to kind of open up and be like, that was the first time I think she told anybody about my mom and
nobody
Phil.
asked, right?
And
She's doing
nobody
bits.
Asked.
She's doing bits.
And someone who shows that interest in you and also tells you you're special. You're so special that I can read every mind in this room except for yours. That's how different, special, and unique you are.
And I don't want to be like, again, it's not going to be perfect and like anti-feminist about it. And obviously there's power beyond like bottom power. But this idea of like, when her having subjectivity, right? When everyone, what came up for me when you just mentioned everyone's looking at her like shiny new toy.
Yeah.
All of her peers aren't seeing her, they're seeing her as object.
Yeah.
And what we're conditioned to see with any predator, man, vampire, is that they are that their prey is object too, right?
Yeah.
His central conflict of not wanting to eat her grants her more subjectivity than anybody else in her life has granted her, because he's in, like, all humans are food, except he doesn't see her that way. So like already what she has to him is beyond what he could have anywhere else. To your point, he can read everyone else's mind.
But
like,
it's also, he doesn't, I think, also very in the way of kind of infantilizing her in these ways. He wants her so bad, but also he very much wants to keep her pure. He does not want to touch her.
Yeah.
He does not want to turn her into a vampire. He does not want to have sex with her. He wants to protect her, right? Like he wants to, at first he can't even stomach her, right? When he like the smelling scene and he can't like keep it together. It's like he wants her so bad, but it's almost like he feels, he calls her basically stupid multiple times for not being scared of him. And it's like he wants, I don't know, her to be kind of infantilized and in this vulnerable position in a way that might imply, should he get what he like really wants on his more unconscious level, which is obviously to kind of like eat her, consume her, she would lose all her purity and what makes her so special and wanted in his eyes and desired.
Right. And that is, I mean, the bargain that masculine, feminine strikes.
Right. And it is very much a text about the masculine and the feminine, no?
Oh,
I mean,
God,
it just...
it's brilliant. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and there's something so like kind of... There's an implication there. I can see the moral panic of it, because there's an implication too that it is very natural. Even in the settings in which it happens, like in the forest, a young man and a young woman, he is dangerous, she is not scared, and like she is willing to subject herself to his dominance.
Yeah.
It is implied as kind of a natural way of being in the world.
Yes. We just watched the dinner scene, right? When she comes over to their house for dinner and they're all like, this is going to be bad for us when one of us snaps. Like, what's his name is looking at her like,
Yeah, Jasper.
yeah, Jasper, ease up, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he's the latest. He's only the newest convert.
yeah, he's putting himself at risk. He's putting everyone at risk for her. Like, that's vulnerability. That's femininity. And the way that they're trading these things. Like, that's what's so fucking sexy about it to me. And what I think is flattened by things that are not authored and directed by women.
Yeah, I do think like losing Catherine Hardwicke was such a mistake in so many ways, because I also think what Catherine Hardwicke does not get credit for is the fact that people were so surprised by the success of Twilight, both in the box office, the cultural phenomena that it became. It was overtaking the world. I would argue there was so much credit given to Robert Pattinson, to Kristen Stewart, to the books, to Stephenie Meyer, and nothing to Catherine Hardwicke. I think without her laser focused ability to communicate kind of this young teenage female gaze onto that film and that awkwardness and everything about it, without that, there is no Twilight, the billion-some-dollar industry.
Nope.
Like, I just think Catherine Hardwicke should be, I hope you're doing wealthy, but you should have been doing Marvel. She should have been offered every blockbuster fucking hit from then on out. And I'm like, I haven't heard from her.
No, we tried to find out she did one other.
She's done other movies, but nothing that was like, she hasn't done another Twilight. Like,
right. It's funny. We talk about like women not getting a second chance. Mm-hmm. Like, to fail. We don't get a second chance to fucking succeed. Like
I'm like, she was a huge success.
And I would backtrack it right of like the subsequent 4 films were directed by men, and the distinction there, right? Like when people talk about like this person could do this, but this person could never do this. Like, I think that had they given the same Marvel blockbuster superhero action treatment to this first film, we wouldn't have had a 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Like, you could argue that maybe she would have done them differently than those men, but they wouldn't have had the chance to do it without this, because I don't know, like for the people at home, maybe we can help teach them the 4 quadrants, right? That are
teach me.
Yeah, for film marketing, for television marketing, the 4 quadrants of adult men, adult women, young men, young women. Yeah. And the like industry forever, the wisdom has been, if you can get teenage boys, if you can get young boys, then you get everyone other else, quadrant.
Right, of course.
And you get all of the money, which is why it's Marvel, right? Because the idea is, and this is, I don't endorse this, but the wisdom is men, adult men, just big teenage boys, big little boys. They like all the bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, they do.
And then the teenage girls are going to go because the teenage boys are going, and moms want to be what they're.
Of course. No, that all makes perfect sense.
If this movie is for young women, had it been targeted for the other quadrant, you wouldn't have got these people, like the young women. And this is also, I think, one of the first times, in addition to subsequent films like Hunger Games, where we saw the boys are going to go.
Young women have driven the market because they're bringing their boyfriends and their moms and dads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then this tension, though, between what is intimate and action, like another thing that ContraPoints talks in her video of like male versus female gaze. And we see the tension even in this movie where a lot of the drama is in the romance. Will they or won't they? But then Stephanie is pressured, and we see perhaps still feels the pressure of the grand narrative of, well, we're going to actually need to have a big fight at the end.
Well, and I think that's the thing, is that's why they didn't give it to Catherine Hardwicke. And I don't know what working with her is like. Also, I did a little bit of research on her. She seems like, to me, a really cool chick, but she also seems a little bit off the beaten path type of girl. And sorry.
Yep.
But she, go ahead, pop that can.
Sorry, I should. Yeah.
Did you see that video of it's Julia Roberts, and it's a panel of whatever, and she's like, I'm going to invite all of my castmates to go ahead and pop open their cans. I'm going to invite you to pop open your can and open your straw, put it in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Okay, so Catherine Hardwicke, I think she doesn't get a next movie because of the laughability of the action sequences, right?
They're tough.
They're ridiculous. And she does spend so much time on the other parts of the movies, which seems to be more important to her, right? The emotional dynamics between Bella and her father, Bella and the other girls at school, even the other girls at school and the boys they're wanting to date. Like, there's so much richness in the world. She doesn't seem to have put so much into the action sequences. She clearly tried to do it all. Like, Twilight was shot on film.
That's the other thing where, like, this looks really fun. Yeah, it's
shot on film. Like, this is a really cool indie movie.
Prohibitively expensive.
Prohibitively expensive. And so she's blowing all of the budget on shooting on 35 millimeter film.
Right.
And great choice, by the way.
Yeah, like when you say blow, it's like...
Yeah, so you don't have the, I think, budget left to do some really interesting action sequences with Robert Pattinson trying to show Kristen Stewart the powers.
The powers. That's what, because you and I are sitting there for the first 40 minutes being like, this is criminal, this is unjust, I don't understand how this, and then
give her
Rob
flowers,
like,
and then it's the spider monkey scene, and then it's like, oh
fuck,
that's why this didn't get the...
And to your point of, right, giving her a restricted budget is not the experience that the men had following up.
No, because
so it's like, come on, like, this isn't even a good faith critique. You didn't give her resources.
No, right.
But also, it's silly.
It's silly what she did do with those sequences. They are laughable and ridiculous, but I do think she was smart too. But they were also in many ways unimportant. Because what she did do,
yeah.
she satisfies in that moment. You
Yeah.
still feel the power of him, but you do it not with the shots. In fact, I think they kind of cut away from them running quickly up the mountain and stuff. But what they are doing are fast visuals of Washington, of the environment that are moving really quickly. And you get a sense of, with the music and the way
Yeah.
she's cutting, you get the sense this is a big moment. He's very powerful. She's experiencing it for the first time. Right. But the actual practical effects of them, say, climbing the tree or jumping from tree to tree are, they are hard to watch.
Corny boots.
Yeah.
As compared to something she does very successfully that I don't think anyone will ever forget when we see young, of age, Robert House Nina Pattinson
Yeah.
sparkling in the light. And they were like talking about some of the research I was doing was like them with the makeup and the lighting and trying to achieve that because that wasn't
No,
CGI.
it's clearly practical.
It's
It's clearly practical and it
beautiful.
looks beautiful.
and talking about like moments where it's like that stays in my mind. The car scene.
I think what might
stays in my mind forever.
Oh, the car scene.
Like the image of Twilight, the baseball scene, which I was practical effects, but I think was effective ultimately.
Yeah, more successful.
Yes, and just
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think some people, what is going to stay in some people's mind is that you just referred to Edward Cullen as Rob House Nina Pattinson.
Yeah. Yeah, like Rob House Nina Pattinson.
Rob House Nina Pattinson.
Yeah.
I was randomly at Robert Pattinson's 35th birthday party.
Happy birthday. by
Happy
the way.
birthday,
Yeah.
by the way, at the flower shop. And I was there, which I shouldn't have been, but I was.
Yeah.
And then it was like happy birthday. And I realized as soon as the happy birthday song starts, I'm standing far too close to Rob Pattinson. I didn't mean to. We were just both kind of at the bar, same area,
I
whatever.
bet you were, yeah.
Did not mean to be.
Wrong place, wrong
Yeah,
time.
I did not mean to be next to you.
And
this
you know,
morning.
I happened
happy
the other day
birthday.
when you're next to the birthday girl who you don't know, and,
then
they
you're
bring
just
out the cake. And
there. You're like, fuck, I'm standing so close to you.
I'm in the
right
video.
now.
I'm in every video.
I'm in the
There's
video.
no angle where I'm not.
In the
I-
video, standing here pretending to know the birthday girl.
But anyway, hey Rob, how's Nina?
How's Nina and happy birthday.
And happy birthday, girl. One other thing that we know that Catherine does not get credit for. You want to talk about?
Discovering, I mean, not, of course, they both are actors, but like, she fought for both Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. The studio thought Robert Pattinson was not attractive enough, and she was like,
You're nuts.
She was like, he'll go to the gym, I promise.
No, like I'll get him.
He's the one.
Yeah.
He'll go fucking work out. And he did. It looks fucking amazing.
Cut.
And then Kristen Stewart was under 18 at the time.
Yep.
So she could only work 5.5 hours a day. We're shooting on 35 millimeter. This is getting really, really expensive. She's in every
Long.
scene, y'all.
Yes. You can't work without her. And
You
by the
can't
way,
work
when
without
she's
her.
working, so is everybody else because
yeah.
they're in the back of every shot.
Yeah.
Which is also prohibitively expensive, but
Yeah.
gives it that liveliness that we
No,
talked
that's-
about too, where it's like
yes.
the second this becomes on a studio lot and not wherever the fuck they shot.
Yeah.
It's like you lose any access where I'm like, those two gone. They're not allowed on the set. All the youth that are in there, I'm sure probably not everyone's union.
Yeah.
Like now everyone's can't talk. They know they're in Twilight. Like the difference
Well,
for
but
those people. But yeah, to fight to be like, she works 5.5 hours a day, worth it. Like you got to give it up to Catherine
do
because you
think,
know
though,
it's that
those-
same
yes.
attitude that got her fired.
You have to, because Catherine Hardwicke, yeah, I know she was probably tough to work with, but every choice she made is why Twilight did what it did, and that is a hill I will die on, is Catherine Hardwicke should be a household name, and she should be doing more work. We should be seeing and hearing from her far more often than we have. And you know what I heard? She gave an interview that said the studio, she said, most people, when they like quadruple their budget,
Yep. In
opening weekend in a
yep.
shocking kind of feat, a male director in that scenario gets a Lamborghini and a job on a superhero movie.
Yep.
She was like, they sent me a mini cupcake. As
Not
kind-
even full-size cupcake?
No, a mini cupcake to be like, fuck you.
Shame.
They hated her ass, clearly.
No, clearly. And it's also just like
But they owe her everything. All of them.
Justice for
Justice for Catherine Hardwicke.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess that's our overall thesis of Twilight, right? Like of the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Separating, I think we could go on endlessly about the dynamics between Bella and Edward as a larger cultural sub-dom
Yeah.
kind of exploration of paternal to sexual type relationships.
Yeah. Of course we could. And also the way that like that something like Twilight, like fiction, like storytelling is an opportunity and I would argue a healthy and productive way to experience things such as vampirism and subdom.
Yes, absolutely.
With the safety of not, for example, another way I was experimenting with subdom at the time, like chatting with strangers on Grindr. Right? Like, all right. Well, is there anything else about like Twilight? I mean, again, we might rewatch this, by the way. We might come talk to you about it again.
This text.
That's what's so exciting about what we're doing. We may come back to this text,
or maybe we'll go to New Moon and Evolve, or maybe we'll come back to Twilight. But that is what's new on Stream Queens of Pod, is we're really going to go by what's calling to us week by week and what we're streaming. That's really, if it was ever unclear the concept of this podcast, it's what we're streaming in our house, and we're going to continue streaming together, and then you can continue streaming us on this podcast, and we're so excited to be back.
Thanks for joining us in the living room.
Thanks for joining our living room.
If you've made it this far, please subscribe and turn on notifications on YouTube.
Follow us on Spotify.
I
don't know what that does, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, and these podcasts are like big podcasts, like Diary of a CEO, and they're begging. They're begging. They're like, please, if you've ever even enjoyed
we can't do this without you.
Follow us on Spotify. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was so like that. So why don't you guys do that? I just want to say, follow us on Spotify, I guess.
Yeah, do the same on all the other platforms. It helps us get in other people's algorithms.
Yeah.
And it's a really great way that you can directly support our work by sharing. I'm Julia Wendt.
I'm Erin McKeon. This was Stream Queens.